You are not for everybody. If you have a business or a business idea, but your audience is too broad, you don't know who they are, you don't know very much about them, or you think that you're selling to everybody, this video is for you. I will explain why it's so important to niche down, especially for a small business, 3 techniques for identifying your niche, and some free ways that you can learn even more about your audience. Let's go. What up, y'all? I'm Liz Murray, a brand strategist, creative director, and I work with women and BIPOC entrepreneurs to overcome chaos in their brand and get really clear so that they can level up, make more money, and shatter glass ceilings and build generational wealth and economic power. Today we're talking about niching. Here's the thing, I can't tell you how many times I've talked to a business owner about their audience and who they serve, and they say, everybody who needs my product or service. That's not true. It's not true. It's wrong. It's not gonna work. Unless you are an enormous national or multinational company, you do not have the resources to serve everybody, period. And even if that's where you want to get, it can really, really help to start with something specific and targeted. And that's because you need to resonate with people emotionally to get them to buy your product or service. You need to capture their psychology or their needs. And it takes a lot of marketing to do that with all different types of people. Being specific is very, very powerful. If you are the best, perfect fit for a very specific targeted problem, you are going to go really, really far with that audience versus sort of resonating with a lot of different people. This is also a cultural change. As the internet has blossomed and totally changed our whole life, things have gotten a lot more niche. There is an audience for so many different interests and a style or a point of view that's gonna resonate with everyone. We have so much more choice and so many more options that we expect things to really align with our values, align with our personality, even if it's just a simple purchase. People are making much more informed decisions about who they work with, what they buy, how they shop, and so there is an opportunity for business owners to resonate even more deeply, even in purchasing decisions that used to be considered a commodity. So if you are trying to build a small business or you're just getting started, I highly, highly, highly recommend being really clear about who your niche is, niching down to a pretty small but still profitable market, and getting as clear as you can about who that audience is. Now, digging into this, I am going to assume that you know what your market is. So if you haven't even come up with a business idea at all, this is not the video for you. Maybe I'll talk about that in a future video. This is for someone who already has a product or a service or an idea for one that they want to offer, but they're just not clear enough on who is the best fit for it. So let's dig into it. There are 3 key questions that you want to ask yourself to figure out the right audience for you. The first question is, what do you help people do? A lot of people talk about this as problem solution, and this could be literally problem solution. So an example is, I have a friend who has an extermination company, rat exclusion services. So you have rats, he gets rid of them. Thank God for him. I hate rats. Or if you want to lose weight and you hire a personal trainer, they help you lose weight. Problem, solution. Super straightforward. That doesn't apply to every brand though. And sometimes trying to think about your brand as a problem solution can make it more challenging, because what if you're not solving a problem or a straightforward one? What if you are just offering something someone wants, not something they need? So I like to reframe it into, what do you help people do? And that really starts to key in on the psychology and the emotional wants and needs of your consumer. So let's say you have a clothing company. You literally help people get dressed. You help people put clothes on, because our society says you can't walk around naked. But on a deeper level, maybe you help them feel more confident. Maybe you help them feel more beautiful. Maybe you help them get the job that they want, or catch the eye of their next date. Whatever you offer, any product or service, literally any product or service, helps someone do something that they're seeking to do. There is some want or need that you are delivering on. If you don't do that, no one is gonna buy your product or service, so you don't have a viable business. If you have a viable business, there is a want or a need there that you are serving. So you need to start by being really clear on what that want or need is. And again, being very specific is very helpful. So going back to the personal trainer example, it's one thing to say you help people lose weight. It's another thing to say you help people lose weight in a way that they can sustain for the rest of their lives, not like a yo-yo diet. That is very, very specific, and it is a point of differentiation from other ways that people help someone lose weight. So the first question is really more about your value proposition of your brand and what you're helping people do, but that is directly interconnected with your audience. So the second question is, who do you help? And you may be thinking, Liz, yeah, that's why I'm watching this video. I don't know who I help. Hold up, we're gonna talk about it. This is the part where most people say everybody, and they are wrong. You do not help everybody. First of all, you only help people who have that want or need, right? If someone doesn't have that problem or have that want, they're not gonna be interested in what you have to offer. So that is the first way we narrow down this funnel from everybody to your target audience. But then we need to get a little bit more imaginative. This is a combination of using your imagination and what you know about humans just from your existence on this planet, and research, actual research, what you have learned or will learn about your audience from the business that you do and the research that I will guide you through. So think about, who is this want or need the strongest for? Who is this the best fit for? And you might land on a few different people and you can dig into each of those. What are those people like? What are their lives like? And as you're answering those questions, you want to look at their demographics. Those are kind of the data points around their lives, like age, gender, location, income level, some of those things that we often think of that we need to dissect our audience by, but those aren't nearly as important as the psychographics. Their psychographics are their psychological characteristics. So their values, their beliefs about the world, what is important to them, what do they want, what are they seeking in a big picture sense in life. And those shift by culture, they shift by identity, by age, but they are shared characteristics that a lot of people have that help us get into the deeper psychology of who they are. And then you also want to think about lifestyle factors. So on the demographic side, you might have someone who is a working mom in her 40s, and that's just a data point. But when you think about the lifestyle of what a working mom might be, you get a little bit deeper of a picture of maybe she's really busy, she's running all around, her kids are playing sports or whatever. You start to use your imagination to think of these people as real people with rich, vivid lives, because they are real people with rich, vivid lives. So you want to start to identify who are some of the types of people that have this problem or have this want or need, that have these shared characteristics that I can serve. So here are some examples. I have a friend who is a copywriter who specifically works with introverts, because introverts have a lot of challenges in putting themselves out there, talking about themselves, marketing themselves. It can be very uncomfortable. That is her niche, and it keys in on these psychographics of a certain group of people. Business owners who are trying to build a business and market themselves, who also have an identity as an introvert. A company I used to work for is a branding agency that focuses on financial services businesses, especially ones that are trying to grow. So they may be a small business that is trying to level up into a major player in the industry. And so they're keying in on an industry focus in a market that has a specific business need and also a specific goal in mind. That's a good straightforward example of how to slice and dice it, in contrast to the psychographic example. The third question you want to ask yourself is, what point of view do I have on this? What do you see in the market that you want to remedy? What gets you fired up? What is your hot take on what you do? Is someone being underserved in this industry? Is there something you want to change? This may take a little bit of time to get clarity on, and it may come as you're operating your business. But if there is a particular issue or angle that you are really passionate about, that's a good thing to lean into, because you are probably not the only one seeing that gap or seeing that issue. And you can really align yourselves with those people who are underserved, or with those people who are having that same problem that you are, or that you were seeing, and you can become the solution to their problem. And this is where identifying your niche often circles back to creating your offer or your product or your service, because if you do see this angle that you can take, it often bleeds right into how you design the solution itself, which becomes the product or the service. So these are all very interconnected. Using my introverted copywriter friend from before, her unique angle is that she doesn't believe marketing has to be manipulative, and she wants to fight back against that manipulation in marketing, something I wholeheartedly believe in myself. And so she is specifically using non-manipulative marketing tactics with her introverted copywriting clients. Another example we've started to see, particularly over the last few years, is that makeup or shapewear or some of these products should not just be built around white people and white people's skin color, which is like fucking common sense. But business did not really work that way for many, many years. So there's a lot of these disruptive brands that are now offering all different colors of pantyhose or all different colors of bras or makeup, which is just shocking that it has taken this long. But they are aligning themselves with this gap, this need that's out there in the market, and everyone else that's like, fuck yeah, I've been saying that for years. Of course I'm gonna buy your product because you're filling the need. That is how they found their audience. As you're answering these questions, you want to look at your current customers or clients, if you have them, and see patterns or consistencies in their behaviors, in the circumstances through which they came to you, in their personalities. What are some of the common ground between the people that are naturally already gravitating to you if you already have that business out there? And you can also look at who do you like serving the most, or who do you like working with the most. For example, my VA recently told me that she is going to niche down into working with creatives, and part of that came from she and I working together and realizing that was a really rewarding relationship for her, and her skill set really complements a creative entrepreneur. So your actual real life clients can be a great source of inspiration. Now let's say you have existing customers or clients or a built-in audience of some type, but you just feel like you don't know that much about them. How do you learn more about them? Well, you need to do some research. The first method that I recommend is just to talk to them. It sounds really simple, but I can't tell you how many clients I've had who are afraid to talk to their own customers or clients. They feel like it is a burden to put on their customers to actually have a conversation with them or try to get their feedback or input. And I do these on behalf of my clients all the time, and people are always so happy, so willing to share their experiences, to talk to you, to give you their feedback. If you just ask, it makes them feel even more connected to the brand. So the first step is just to talk to them, interview them, say, hey, can I have 10 minutes of your time and ask you a few questions? I want to learn more about you. People are so willing. You can always give an incentive if you feel like you want to, but usually you don't even need to. And that makes that person, your customer, your client, feel really valued, like you actually care about them, and it really strengthens that relationship. The second is to listen. Listen to them. Listen to them, and when you interview them, listen to them when you talk to them. Listen to the emails that you get. Listen to the comments you get on social media. Your audience, your customers are already telling you a lot about them if you just listen. You have to pay attention to these things. You can go back in time and dig into it, but they're telling you the questions they have. They're telling you the challenges they have. A lot of information is already there if you look for it. The third research technique is to do a survey. Surveys are so valuable. They are a simple, free way to learn crazy amounts about your audience. I do them on basically every project, and it is one of the most valuable pieces of strategy work that you can do. It will change your whole business. You will learn so much. Maybe the problems you were focused on aren't the real problems. Maybe there's an opportunity in there that people are just begging for and you didn't know because you didn't think to ask. I actually have a customer research guide that focuses on how to create surveys and what questions to ask. So you can download that below if you would like it. But I usually use a free tool like Google Forms. I keep it around 10 questions. I do some open-ended and some multiple choice or yes, no, just to make it easy to sift through. And I just send it out there. And any feedback is super valuable. You can also do this if you haven't started your brand yet. When I first created my company, I was building my own brand, and I asked my colleagues, friends, family members for feedback about their perceptions of me, and it helped me define my brand personality and my brand message as I was building it, because I didn't have anything to work with yet. So I also have a guide on that if that would be helpful. What are some of the personal brand research questions you can ask just to people in your network? It doesn't have to be a customer or client to give you something to start with. And the final research technique is to just stalk them on social media. Now, I say stalk lightly because I really just mean look at their profile, see what they're into. You have followers, you have people in your network that you know already that probably fit your audience profile. So just look at them, learn more about them, learn more about their lives. If you're not comfortable asking questions yet, just a little simple social media stalk can be a good way to get a little bit more detail. I mentioned this earlier, but once you have an idea of what your niche is, you do need to make sure that there is a real market for it, that you can actually be profitable. So you don't want to get so specific that there's no demand. that just wouldn't work. And then finally, you want to test it. So once you put this into practice in your brand, you start messaging to this audience and you start putting it out there that that's who you serve. You want to see if that actually works, if it resonates with people, if they're coming to you. And that may take a little time and it may evolve over time. So you see a lot of businesses tweak their niche and shift as they learn and as they grow and as different people's needs come and as different players come into the market. This is all an evolution. So you're just going to keep testing and validating and seeing what works. Even for big companies with tons of funding, it takes a long time to find what they call product market fit, which is where that connection between what you're offering and what your audience needs is perfectly aligned. And sometimes that can be one of the biggest challenges you face in your business is you offer something fucking awesome and you just can't yet reach the right person that needs it the most or that is willing to pay for it. So it may take a little tweaking to get there, but it starts with asking yourself these questions and doing all of that research behind the scenes to learn more about your audience. Hopefully you have learned a few techniques that can help you key in on your perfect niche for your brand so that you can stop trying to sell to everybody and actually reach the right people and be successful building your business. As I mentioned, you can download my customer research guide or my personal brand research guide for a little help along the way in doing your research into your audience. Until next time, stay badass. All right, y'all, if you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff down there. And check me out at LizMarieStrategy or LizMarieStrategy.com.